Have you ever thought if you're doing something at 80 that most can't, and maybe aging in reverse? If you can still do them with ease, your body may be aging more slowly than you think. This isn't about looking younger or chasing youth. It's about staying strong, sharp and steady in a world where most people expect to fall apart after a certain age. Many folks assume that things like memory loss, stiff joints, or needing help up from the floor are just normal parts of getting older. But the truth is, they don't have to be. And in this video, I'll walk you through 7 key things that show you're aging in reverse, because they tell us something about your strength, balance, brain, and more. And even if you can't do them just yet, don't worry. I'll explain why each one matters, what it reveals about your health, and how to get better over time. So if you're in your 60s, 70s, or even well into your 80s, and you still want to stay ahead of the aging curve, this is for you. Stick with me and see how many of these you can check off. Sign 1, getting up from the floor without help. For most people over 80, the floor becomes the enemy. It's not that they can't sit down, it's that they're not sure they'll get back up. But being able to get up from the floor without leaning on a chair or someone's arm is one of the strongest indicators that your mobility, balance, and muscle control are aging well. It tells us your legs still have the strength to push you up. Your core still supports your frame, and your coordination hasn't slipped far behind. In fact, in a long-term study done on older adults, those who could get up from the floor, unaided, had a significantly lower risk of dying within the next 6 years compared to those who couldn't. Why? Because getting up from the floor requires multiple systems in your body to work in harmony. Your heart, your brain, your balance, and your muscles all have to talk to each other. When one of those goes quiet, the task becomes impossible. I once knew a man named Walter, 84 years old, who could still sit cross-legged on the floor with his great-grandkids and pop right back up without a second thought. His doctor told him his muscle age was closer to 65. That kind of ability isn't just luck, it's a sign of how well your body has been maintained. So if you're still able to get off the floor on your own, that's not just impressive. That's a message from your body that says, I've still got it. Sign 2, walking fast without losing your breath. One of the clearest signs of youthfulness in an older body is how fast you walk and how long you can keep it up. Most 80-year-olds walk slowly, cautiously watching their steps as if every crack in the sidewalk might trip them. But when someone in their 70s or 80s walks briskly, with confidence, barely winded even after several blocks, that's not just impressive, it's revealing. It suggests their heart is strong, their lungs are working well, and their muscles are still firing efficiently. A fast walking speed is so closely tied to survival that some researchers call it the 6th vital sign. There's even a study that found for every increase of 0.1 meters per second in walking speed, mortality risk drops significantly. That means, in plain terms, people who walk faster tend to live longer. This kind of walking isn't about showing off. It's about whether your circulatory and respiratory systems are giving your body what it needs. When you move quickly and don't feel like collapsing, that's a sign your blood vessels are flexible, your lungs are clear, and your muscles still have fuel. A friend of mine, Leonard, age 81, takes a 3-mile walk every morning. He calls it his morning reset. He says that when he walks fast and breathes deeply, it feels like his whole system wakes up. And honestly, that's exactly what happens. If you can do the same, if you can pick up the pace and not feel drained, that's your body's way of saying you're doing better than most people your age. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 3, getting up from the floor without help. This one might surprise you. But the simple act of getting down on the floor, and more importantly, getting back up again without holding on to anything, is something most 80-year-olds just can't do. It's not just about strength. It's about balance, coordination, joint mobility, and core control. In fact, researchers in Brazil found that the ability to sit and rise from the floor without support was one of the strongest predictors of longevity in older adults. Those who could do it without assistance lived longer, healthier lives than those who couldn't. Think about what it takes to do this. Your knees need to bend without pain. Your hips need to stay flexible. Your abdominal and back muscles have to fire together to keep you stable. And your brain has to stay engaged enough to avoid a fall. It's a full body coordination check. And it tells you, without fancy equipment or lab tests, just how well your aging process is going. I know a woman named Patricia. She's 79, and every morning she does a 5-minute floor routine. It's not much, just a few stretches, a twist here, a roll there, but what matters is that she does it from the floor. She lowers herself down and gets back up without help. She told me once, "I started this so I'd never need someone to pick me up." That level of awareness and discipline keeps her body working, like she's decades younger. If you haven't tried it in a while, here's something to consider next time you're in a safe space. Like near a sturdy couch or wall, try sitting cross-legged on the floor and then standing up without using your hands or leaning on anything. If you can do that, your body's doing something right. It's telling you that your aging process is not only slowed, it might even be in reverse. Sign 4, maintaining strong eye contact and expressive speech. One of the most underestimated signs of aging in reverse is something you see right in the face. Eye contact, facial animation, and the way someone talks. You may not think of that as a sign of wellness. But here's what the research and real life both tell us: the older we get, the more our facial muscles, voice tone, and eye engagement start to fade unless we stay mentally and emotionally alive. When someone looks you directly in the eye, while talking with energy in their voice and movement in their expression, it signals much more than confidence. It shows brain engagement. It shows preserved neuromuscular coordination. It shows emotional attunement and social drive, both of which are connected to a younger brain and nervous system. Seniors who avoid eye contact, speak in a dull monotone, or barely move their faces aren't just tired. They may be experiencing what psychologists call emotional blunting, a condition tied to both cognitive decline and depression. There's something deeply youthful about someone who can still tell a good story with passion, crack a joke with twinkling eyes, or light up a room just by the way they greet you. A man named Leonard, 84, used to run a radio station in his younger years. Now retired, he reads to children at his local library once a week. His voice still rises and falls with rhythm and color. His hands move when he speaks. His eyebrows lift. The kids adore him, and you can see why. He doesn't just sound alive. He is alive. So if you can still hold someone's gaze, speak with warmth, or move your face naturally when you talk, don't take it for granted. That's not just personality. That's preserved function, emotional, neurological, and muscular. And it's one more reason your body might be aging backwards. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 5, handling fine motor tasks with ease. You might not notice it at first, but being able to button a shirt, peel an orange, or thread a needle in your 80s is a quiet sign of something powerful, preserved fine motor control. For many older adults, tasks that used to take seconds begin to take minutes, and eventually they become frustrating or even impossible. But when your fingers still move with precision, it means more than just dexterity. It tells a deeper story. Fine motor ability is controlled by specific areas of the brain that also govern memory, planning, and attention. That's why losing the ability to do small tasks often goes hand in hand with early cognitive decline. But when you can still hold a pen steadily, play a musical instrument, or even button your cuffs without a struggle, it shows that your brain and body are still communicating clearly. That's not just convenience. That's a signal of youth. There's a woman named Barbara, 82, who has been knitting sweaters for her grandchildren every Christmas since the 1980s. Her hands move almost automatically now. Each stitch is even, firm, and clean. She says, "When I stop knitting, I feel stiff. But when I start, it's like my whole body warms up." That kind of repetitive, skilled handwork keeps her mentally sharp and emotionally centered, and it shows. She doesn't just look good for her age. She's functioning well for any age. If you're still tying your own shoes, signing your name with confidence, or flipping pancakes without hesitation, celebrate that. These everyday skills are subtle, but they tell the world something big: your body and brain still trust each other. And that's one more sign you may be aging in reverse. Sign 6, maintaining social curiosity and connection. One of the most surprising signs of aging in reverse isn't physical at all, it's social. Most 80-year-olds slowly begin to withdraw from conversations, skip gatherings, or stop reaching out to others entirely. They don't mean to. It's often a result of fatigue, hearing trouble, or even subtle depression, but the effect is the same: loneliness grows and connection fades. That's why when someone your age still asks questions, still makes plans, and still listens with real interest, it means something remarkable. Social curiosity means your mind is still reaching outward. You're not just surviving, you're engaging. Researchers have found that people who stay socially active into their 80s and beyond tend to live longer, suffer fewer memory problems, and recover faster from illness. It's not just about having company, it's about exercising the part of your brain that recognizes faces, remembers names, and understands emotion. And that's one of the most sophisticated things a human mind can do. Think of Harold, 84, who still hosts a weekly coffee chat at the corner diner. He remembers everyone's name, asks about their grandkids, and tells a new joke every week. The waitress says he's sharper than half the folks in their 40s. But it's not magic, it's practice. His mind is constantly working, listening, adjusting, and caring. That kind of effort doesn't just preserve memory, it keeps the spirit young. So if you still feel drawn to conversation, if you call up old friends just to talk, or you find yourself genuinely curious about someone's story, hold on to that. That hunger to connect, even in small ways, is a signal that your inner life is very much alive and aging backward. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 7, quick recovery from setbacks. There's something truly powerful about resilience, and you can often see it in how quickly someone bounces back after a fall, an illness, or a tough day. For many 80-year-olds, the smallest disruption, a cold, a bruise, even a poor night's sleep, can linger for weeks or throw off their whole rhythm. But if you're still able to take a hit, physically or emotionally, and get back up in short order, that's not luck. That's a hidden sign your body and brain are working much younger than your age. Recovery speed is one of the most telling signs of biological youth. When your muscles still repair themselves quickly, when your immune system still activates and calms down efficiently, and when your nervous system doesn't stay in stress mode too long, that's aging in reverse. You're not stuck in a fragile state. You're still adapting, still rebuilding, still moving forward. And that tells us your internal systems are firing like someone 20 years younger. I think of Eleanor, 82, who recently slipped while gardening. She got a big scrape and a bruised shoulder, and her daughter braced for a long recovery. But within a week, Eleanor was back out there with gloves on, pruning the roses. Her physical therapist said she had the tissue healing speed of a woman in her 60s. Why? Because Eleanor had never stopped walking, stretching, eating well, and challenging herself, so her body never lost the habit of bouncing back. If you still recover faster than others your age, don't take it for granted. That's a gift, but it's also a result of how you've lived, how you've treated your body, and how willing you are to keep moving forward no matter the setback. Final thoughts. Aging doesn't have to mean shrinking into the background or losing your spark. If you recognized even one of these signs in yourself today, take a moment to appreciate it. You're not just doing well for your age, you're defying expectations, aging in reverse in ways most people don't even realize are possible. And if you didn't recognize many of these signs in yourself yet, don't be discouraged. The beauty of aging well is that it's never too late to start. You can stretch your body, train your mind, nourish your spirit, and change your habits at 60, 70, or even 85. The human body is always listening, always responding. And every step you take toward movement, curiosity, kindness, or connection sends a message: I'm still here. I still matter. Remember, the goal isn't to look 40 again. It's to feel strong, clear, and steady in the life you're living now. It's to be able to play with your grandkids, walk up the stairs without holding the rail, sleep soundly through the night, and bounce back after a tough week. Those aren't small wins. They're what real youth feels like, no matter how many candles are on your cake. So here's a question for you. What's one thing you've noticed about yourself lately that makes you feel younger than your years? Is it the way you wake up early without an alarm? The way you still enjoy learning something new? Or the fact that you're watching this video because you care about your health and your life? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.